Welcome back to the channel. This is Doug with the JewelryMonk Studio. This week in our tool section, I want to talk about one of the more important tools that I use at my bench, which is, and you've heard me say this before, my bench pin. You can see it right there. So I've mentioned it many a times, but the bench pin is the center of my universe. Everything happens around the bench pin, whether I'm filing on it, hammering on it, using it as support while I solder. This is what a bench pin looks like when you buy them brand new, and I modify mine. And the thing I like about this one is this is set up on what's called the GRS system. You can Google them and find out, but I've used them for a number of years just because it's really convenient. If I want to take my bench pin off and put my ring clamp on, I can do it that quick, and all of a sudden I've got a ring clamp. They're pretty useful. I like them. I've got a number of them all around the shop. Every bench that I have is situated with one of these, and you can mount these directly to your bench, or there's a steel adapter that you can buy as well. And I like to use those just because it's a little bit more, it's stronger than trying to screw the bench pin right into your bench. Eventually, hammering and working on that, the screws might get loose and they might strip out, and then you'll have to drill new holes and things. But the steel adapter plate works pretty well. And I am going to go back in history to some of the videos that I've made before and explain why my bench pin is shaped and designed the way that it is. So I'll let older, or actually younger Doug, explain to you why the bench pin that I use is designed like it is. So let's go check that out. Here you can see a couple of bench pin modifications that I make. I put little notches in the very ends on both sides, and what that does is it helps to stabilize the piece as I'm doing some filing and some heavy work, so it doesn't slide all over the place. On the right hand side, I cut like a little shelf on my bench pin, and that does the same thing. I can put flat pieces on there, and as I'm filing, it'll stabilize them and hold them in place so they're not sliding all over my bench pin as I'm working. And that just helps me to get more control over my work. Hey everyone, Doug here with JewelryMonk Studio and Training Center. Quick tip today, talking about the bench pin. Your bench pin is the center of your bench universe. Everything centers around your bench pin. I use it for sawing. If I'm sawing stuff, you want support there, so you use it to saw. I use it to file. If I'm filing on anything, I use it for support. When I'm soldering, if I'm soldering something, my hand is always on there as support. So I use this to support everything that I do. I also modify it a little bit. I've got some grooves cut in there so that when I'm filing on something, I can line it up against there and it supports it. I've got grooves cut in there for helping me hold pieces. I got a hole cut in the center so that when I'm sawing, I can use that to support the piece as well. I've got a trench cut on the top of it, so if I'm working on small things, I can lay them in there and they don't move around. So the bench pin is the center of your bench universe. Modify it to fit the needs that you have and that you want to accomplish. Have fun, make it unique, make it yours. On my bench pin, I've modified it a little bit, and I've got these notches here right on the end. And one of the things that I use those for is setting the tension on my saw frame. So what I do is I'll put the handle of the saw frame against my chest. I'll stick the back of the saw frame into one of those notches, and that way I can adjust it hands-free. If you notice on my saw frame here, I've got two little notches. What I do is I set the saw frame, or the saw blade, right up against the first notch. I'll adjust it from this end first. So again, with the handle against my chest, what I'll do is I'll line up the end of the saw blade with the first notch, which these two notches are 2.5 millimeters apart. I've marked them and notched it in there. So I'll line it up with the first one, press a little bit with my chest until that saw blade lines up with the second one. Tighten it up, good to go. Hey everyone, Doug here at the JewelryMonk Studio and Training Center with a quick tip for you. When you're working with small pieces that are hard to hold on to, I got a bench hack for you. So when you're working on your bench pin, this is my bench pin, you can see it's kind of beat up a little bit, but when you're holding a piece, it's kind of hard sometimes to hold on to it. So I've actually created a notch right here. You can see right on my bench pin. And what that does is it allows me to take the piece and stick it up against that notch so that when I'm filing, I don't have to hold it as hard. Actually, I could let go of it and still file because it's holding it in place for me. So you allow this notch in your bench pin as a wall or a support so that it'll hold the piece so that when you press forward, it stabilizes it and holds it in place. So it just helps it to stabilize the piece so you're not chasing it all over, so you're not really hard on your fingers trying to keep the smaller pieces stabilized in your fingers. So use your bench pin as a mechanism to help you stabilize the piece. You can see, like I said, I can let go of it, still file it. There's your bench hack for you. JewelryMonk.com. So I rifled through some of my old YouTube videos, and those videos were from 2018, 2019, 2020. So you can see there's a theme throughout the past number of years, how important it is to the bench pin and the things that I do to modify my bench pin to make my job at the bench easier. And again, so this is what they look like when they're brand new. What I do is I'll drill a hole right down the center. I'll figure out where I want that. And my bench pin, there's a couple of different ways you can mount them. You can mount them this way so that the angle is on the top, or you can mount them, actually turn it around like mine is now, so that the flat spot is on the top. That's the way I like them. And again, I'll drill a hole through the center so that I can do some sawing and things like that. And then I'll take a saw and I'll cut that angle out, and then I'll cut the notches in there as well. The notches are real important as well, especially for the saw blade tension. But there's so many things that you can do to your bench pin just to modify it and make it uniquely your own. I'm not saying that this is the way to do your bench pin. This is just the way that I've done it, and I find it useful. But there's a number of jewelers out there who do them differently, and that works great for them. That's more power to them. This is just the things that I've found that help me, especially that little trench that I cut in there. What I usually do is once I cut that trench, I smooth it out and get it as smooth as I can. Then I'll put some oil in there and just soak it with oil so that it stays, it doesn't start chipping away. It stays nice and smooth, so that usually when I'm setting stones, I'll put my diamonds or stones in there, or little pieces of metal. I'll stick them in there so they don't bounce off and roll away. That's what we're talking about today. The tool of the day is your bench pin. You can pick these up for a few bucks and then modify them, and they're priceless. So thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. And as always, remember on Fridays, 8 a.m. in the morning Mountain Standard Time, we do our live Q&A. Stop on in and we'll see what we talk about. Last week was pretty neat. And usually I'll kind of wrap up things we talked about during the week and then throw out some questions. And then people always throw out questions as well. So the live stream just kind of goes in different directions, which is kind of fun. So thanks again for stopping by. As always, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of the content. And we'll see you next time. This is Doug at the JewelryMonk Studio.